one of these, the tools that I've used in my spiritual practice is the Ho'oponopono prayer. And that's a forgiveness prayer. And at the very, core of forgiveness is connection. So it's also a connection prayer. And I would, the depths of my withdrawal, I would wake up and I would sit in, I had a little altar where I meditated, and I would do a little morning practice, and part of that practice was the Ho'oponopono prayer. So that's a ancient Hawaiian prayer, and it goes like this. You say the name of the person. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you can switch around a little bit, or you can say, I love you. Thank you. But that's how I say. I say, so and so, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I would do that up to like 30, however many times. I had a little rosary, a little necklace with beads. Sometimes I had a rosary. Sometimes I had a mala, which are just different type of necklaces with beads. And I would just count that, and I would, say that prayer to, someone that was in need of some sort of energy healing and some healing. So people that were, like Dorothy just mentioned, her friend who's going through something. That's like an amazing example of when you can do the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's not just to ask for forgiveness, but it's also to send good energy, to send this prayer of connection and good energy to someone. So I would like every morning, I would sit and connect and ask myself, like, who needs some extra loving today? And then maybe it's a friend that's going through something. It's, maybe someone I don't even know. Maybe it's a group of people somewhere in the world that's suffering that would need a little bit of prayer, a little bit of good energy. And I would sit there and I would do that Ho'oponopono. So I've watched just miraculous things happen. Like I, would have, had a fight with a friend months and months and years ago, and he came into my mind, and I'm like, today I'm just gonna send and do Ho'oponopono prayer for him. And I did that. And then later that day he texted, he was like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like, I hope you're doing well. So it's again one of these like magical tools that you can use and see how it unfolds. You can use to continue to soften the relationship with someone that is maybe extra difficult. You can use it to send love to someone. You can use it to send love to yourself. So it's, even though it has this forgiveness, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, tone to it, it really is just this magical prayer of connection. And I like to use it specifically, especially with people too that I no longer have connection. So people, physical connection. So people that have passed on, grandparents, friends, and maybe people that are just, that people that you can't talk or encounter very easily. So it's a way to establish connection through your heart, even when you're far away. So, um, so that's my coaching, or my, the idea that that we wanted to bring to you was to start to consciously reach for connection, consciously choose places that you find more connection, and then keep nurturing that, um, and see how things shift in difficult times. And also add this tool of the Ho'oponopono prayer into your toolbox of healing. And again, see how things shift. And one cool thing about Ho'oponopono too, I use it mostly with people, but you can use it for situations too. So if you are in a difficult financial situation, you can do Ho'oponopono to your finances. Um, okay. Okay, Callie. So you can do Ho'oponopono prayer for your creativity if you feel like you have a block, or for whatever area of your life that you need to, move in a certain way. You can do the Ho'oponopono prayer. So the way I will guide us today into the practice that I'm bringing will be through a meditation. So we're going to be sending Ho'oponopono prayer for 3 people, and we're going to go, from easiest to harder. Um, so 3 people, one that is the easiest, which is someone that you love so deeply. That's like maybe the first person that popped in your head when I say someone that you love so deeply that you want to send some loving energy. Um, that will send the Ho'oponopono prayer for them, and then we'll send the Ho'oponopono prayer for ourselves, which is usually one step harder than sending it outwards, is to send it to ourselves. And then the third step would be to send it to someone that we have some challenges with, or someone that been challenging you lately, or maybe the one that has challenged you the most. Send it to them. Even if the words might be hard, to come out, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Um, we're gonna try this exercise, and then we will come back and just see how the energy transmutes. All right. So for this exercise, you can just, sit comfortably. You can have your back supported on your chair, and then have your feet supported on the ground as well. And then slowly closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Feeling the air in your nostrils, feeling your lungs, and letting the air out, dropping the shoulders, softening the forehead, softening the belly. Inhaling deeply in through the nose, letting some sound out, relaxing those shoulders. A couple more of deep breaths. Closing your eyes and arriving in this space of connection. And then now, bring your awareness, your focus to the center of your chest. You may want to bring the hand to the center of your chest if it helps you focus there as well. The center of the chest is where your heart chakra is, your center of emotions. Focusing on the spot and feeling this little ball of light starting to grow, this ball of white light growing from the center of your chest. Till is about the size of a tennis ball. That center of light is sitting in the middle of your chest. As you bring the connection to that spot, your attention to that spot. It's that easy to connect to your heart chakra. You just need to bring your awareness and hold it there. Then slowly feeling this presence on your right side, this towering protective presence of your guardian angel standing right next to you on your right side. And both of you together enter this portal of your heart space. So you walk into your own heart space, into your own that ball of light, which is a portal to your inner garden. And as you cross this portal, you are transported to the most beautiful garden. that lives within your mind. You notice the flowers and the sunshine, the butterflies, and the dragonflies and the bees flying around your garden. As you walk through your garden with your guardian angel by your side, you find a comfortable place to sit. As you look into the distance, you see the person that you love most in this world, that your heart just cracks open every time you think of them. They approach you and they stand right in front of you. As you look into each other's eyes, you say the name of the person. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. We'll repeat this prayer 2 more times, so a total of three times. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Feeling this connection get established between your heart space and this person's heart space. Feeling this sense of deep love and gratitude for each other's presence. You bow to each other in respect of this connection. And this person gently walks away with both of your hearts still connected and sharing this deep bond. You once again focus out in the distance, knowing there are a couple more visits for you today. And sure enough, you see your own self approaching and standing right in front of you. You extend this prayer of forgiveness and connection to your own self as you say your name. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Feeling this connection between your heart space and your image's heart space as well. Sharing this deep love, admiration for yourself, forgiveness for the times you weren't fair with yourself, that you didn't treat yourself right. Feeling your heart space just beat in gratitude and connection and love as you bow to each other in respect. And you see yourself walking away. And finally, you see the person that is most challenging to you right now, just walking towards you and standing in front of you. You create this connection through the eye gaze. When you say their name, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Connecting to their heart space and letting these words of softening, of pure connection reverberate in your own body and in their body as well. Knowing that this prayer will work for the best of both of your paths, whatever it may be, getting you closer or letting each other go, strengthening a bond or breaking you for good. This is a prayer of softening and release. Each other bow in respect, and you see that person walking away. And you feel this sense of pride and gratitude for your own self, of being able to connect in both extreme love and difficulty, but keeping your heart open. Your guardian angel now steps into your side once again, takes you by the hand, and both of you walk towards the light, the portal that you entered this beautiful garden through your heart space. And leaving your internal important to return to your current place. Feeling the chair underneath your sits bones, feeling the feet on the ground, feeling your back supported, noticing any other sounds that are present other than my voice, noticing the temperature of the room. Slowly opening your eyes and looking around the room to notice the objects and the colors and the textures, the lighting. Slowly walking, looking around, bringing to your brain all these cues of safety. They're right here and right now. Everything is okay. And slowly coming back here into the space. If you'd like to just rotate your shoulders, you can rotate your neck. Rotate both of your wrists. If you'd like to share on the chat how that went for you, if that was hard, if that was natural, I'd love to hear how it landed.
I would love to hear too who showed up in people's lives, because when you said it first, who, that we were going to be meeting 3 people, I had a very specific idea, and then that's not who showed up on me. So
So
I will,
interesting.
yeah. So if you want to put that in the chat, I would be very interested. I saw my father was the first one, and then I saw um, me, obviously. And then the hardest one was my son. I started crying. So it was very interesting. So thank you for that. For part 2 of our Ho'oponopono class, I decided to do an expressive watercolor piece. And so for this part of the project, I have a piece of watercolor paper. I am using my gel pen. I am using very inexpensive watercolors from Crayola, and I'm also going to use my Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils. You can either use them as they are, or you can add water and they liquefy and turn into watercolors. The colors are super vibrant, and that's why I like to use them. You can use anything you want. So in keeping with the Ho'oponopono theme tonight, we are going to do a really neat, very constrained shape where all the artwork is going to be inside of the shape. So like last week, we did this thing that was just loose and you could make a mess, and I went over an old piece of art. And tonight is going to be a little bit more controlled, because when we are apologizing in an intentional, heartfelt way, and also with this prayer, there is an order to it. You can change the order. It's not like you're bad or wrong. You're not getting graded on it, but it is very intentionally, the apology is first, the ask, for the forgiveness is second, the appreciation is third, and then the return to connection with I love you And actually no ask there. It's just open, like whether or not you receive it, I'm sending you love. And starting with remorse and ending up in love is just such a wonderful thing. And so there's an order. So I've created this little exercise tonight that's a little bit tighter than it was last week, but it's still going to yield some beautiful art, I hope. So the first thing that we're going to do, and you can turn your paper in any direction, however works best for you. I just chose to use this portrait sort of layout, but you could flip it around if you prefer. And what I'm going to start with first is I'm just going to make a very large heart, because Emilie had us get heart focused, and all this good stuff comes from the heart. When you're intentionally asking for forgiveness from someone, has to come from the heart. Or it's really no good. It's actually no good. So that's the first part. And then below the heart, which we're not going to deal with initially, but I'm going to have you think to yourself about some kind of a shape that will fill up the bottom part of your paper. So it might be a circle, it might be an oval, it might be a square, it might be an inverted or like a triangle, or an inverted triangle, or it could even be an upside down heart or a star, anything that you want. But we want it to be pretty good sized. And I don't want you to get too worried about what we're going to be doing with that part, but we just want to have something in place. So I'm going to use a little bit of a cloud shape. And you guys know I typically like to go over these things like in the places where lines meet. And so I'm going to take a minute to do that. If you're not someone who enjoys that part of my process, then don't do that part. But it'll only be a minute here because basically there's only 2 lines happening. Continuous lines. So I'm just going in, and this is kind of like my little warm up for myself. It helps me loosen up, limber up. Okay, so there's that. Then the next thing I'm going to have you do, and again, it is not wrong if you want to follow me in this, but I'm going to encourage you to kind of go your own way with this, especially if you're somebody who hasn't done that in the past. And what I'm going to suggest here is that you can either do this, you can do this with your non-dominant hand as well if you prefer, but I'm going to just hold my pen loosely in my dominant hand for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by just making a couple of shapes that go all the way across my my heart. So from one side to the other. And just do this in a couple of places just to start. So again, I'm doing it kind of loosely with my not with my dominant hand, but non-dominant hand would work as well. And just enjoy making some lines, some shapes, and think about when Emilie was talking about that inner garden. Think about what the inside of your heart looks like if you were trying to apologize to someone. What would that look like? What would the shapes look like? So I'm just going to play a little bit here. I'm just working on this upper portion above where I drew that little line, and I'm just settling into it. I spent a fair amount of time just relaxing and filling in my heart with a lot of different shapes. I tend to like circles, I like flowers. You can do whatever you want to fill in your shapes so that it's going to eventually be filled with color. The one thing I do recommend is that you leave a couple of spaces where you will have space to add a word or a few words inside of this heart. It's not necessary, but I do think it will work later to tie in some of the other writing that we're going to do down below. if you can, maybe I should have said this earlier too, and you don't have to do this, but if there's a word that comes up for you, I heard Emilie saying that, and I believe this, the opposite of depression is connection. And if the goal of forgive, the Ho'oponopono prayer is to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, it is a prayer of reconnection. And I think I read somewhere, I'm going to just grab my little sheet here. It says that in Hawaiian, I believe, yeah, in Native Hawaiian, pono, it means balance. And so when things are in balance, nothing is off. So it means to cause things to move back in balance. That's what I was told that the Ho'oponopono roughly translates to. So if we're trying to get back to balance, I'm thinking about, I want to put a word in here, and it could be maybe like connection or balance, and maybe both. So I think I'm going to put in like connection. I'm going to put both in because I just am kind of feeling that connection. So in other words, don't be afraid to put in a word if something is, if you're hearing something or some word is reverberating in your ears. I encourage you to follow that. That is a real thing. That's your intuition calling you. So if something is coming up, feel free to integrate that. So connection, and make a couple more lines. And I think I'm going to also add balance in here somewhere because that's what this is all about. So I'm going to write balance. Once I put in my words, which were connection and balance, I continued to fill in my heart with more shapes that interest me and just feel good to do. It's as much detail or as little as you would like. And once you get it to where you feel satisfied, then we're ready to move on to the bottom part of our drawing, which will be lettering. We are, in fact, going to write the words to the Ho'oponopono prayer in that space. So what I like to do is I take a pencil and very lightly, I put in a very light guide line for myself. The line does not have to be straight. It can be curvy, it can be straight, it can be however you want it to be. And then you're going to, from the bottom of the top, so there needs to be 4 lines, right? I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. On the from the bottom line to the top of your shape, you're going to want to make your first letter. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this is one where you don't want to be afraid. Don't be afraid to take up space. So I'm doing I'm sorry. So I'm going all the way from the bottom of my line all the way to the top of my other line here. So it doesn't matter if the letters are wonky, it's gonna be just fine. So I'm sorry, and I usually put a period after it. Some people put commas, but and then what I do is I take to the most left side of each letter, I just kind of block it out, and then I will fill that in later. It'll be dark later. You'll see. So that's my I'm sorry. So you can see my sorry is wonky. One R is bigger than the other. It's fine. It's going to all look great, and it's going to blend in with what's up there. And maybe I don't need another word up there because of what's happening here. So let me just see this for one more second. See, I'm getting distracted. Okay. And it needs something there, but okay. So I'm sorry. And I'm going to do please forgive me. Please forgive me. So this is going to have to be a little slower. Let me try it in pencil first. Just map it out a little. Please forgive It's okay if you mix uppercase and lowercase letters. All is well. I don't usually map my stuff out, but this is such a tiny little space. Bottom of the line to the top of the line. So I'll show you this. That's gonna be cute. Okay, so I'm gonna do please. Forgive me. And then I'll do the same thing. I'm gonna just do that outside left corner will be darkened eventually. I repeat this process for the third and fourth lines of the Ho'oponopono prayer. And I really take my time with this. I really try to think about the person or the people that I am, asking for forgiveness, or try to focus on forgiving myself. A couple more little lines over here. Hopefully you're just filling in your garden here. Maybe I'll put a little star in there with some collage at the end, and maybe in there too. So I'm just gonna make some little lines to finish that. All right, I'm at the place where I'm ready to start my coloring. Now, you can color this however you want. It can be as colorful as you want, but for my purposes tonight, I'm actually going to use a whole bunch of pastel pinks, purples. I basically have every shade of pink and purple that you can use. And I think I'm also going to use some red in here. I'm just grabbing what I have. Some pinks, pinks, purples, reds, and that's what it's going to be. So I think I'm going to do this a little bit in watercolor and also colored pencil. So let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to grab my watercolor brush and see what I can do here. For my process, I decided to start with my watercolors, and honestly, there is no rhyme or reason here. I just grabbed colors that appealed to me and I started to plop them in wherever I saw fit. So wherever I do a little bit on one side, I'm gonna try to do that on the other side as well. So just sort of moving around my page and letting things fill in a very organic way. So I'm not thinking about it. I'm just like, if I put something there, I want to need something over here. And I try to think about this in triangles. So I try to get things in a triangular, so your eye moves around a little bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. My weird obsession with odd numbers continues. And I'm going to bring a little bit over here as well. So that's sort of how I think about my paintings, to bring balance. It just makes the eye move around a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Yeah, that's gonna work. So I'm gonna add a little bit of blue, which is kind of like the sky in my garden. The sky. So if I do some there, I'm definitely gonna need some over here. a little bit down here, maybe this whole chunk. Oh, and I was gonna do some colored pencils too. So let's see. I definitely have some colored pencils that I could play with, different colors. So let's see what that does. So there's no rhyme or reason here. You can't mess it up. Just fill in all your spots and you'll be just fine. Let's see if I can do something with my Caran d'Ache here. Maybe I'll introduce like a little bit of a yellow. Maybe like here, kind of the sunshine in my garden. Sunshine, I've got sunshine. I like that. Going back in with some other colors I've already used. I'm just filling in some dots. I am going to leave a little bit of white space because I truly believe every painting benefits from having a little bit of white space. But you can totally go into your painting with a second coat of paint and add some details, some circles, some whatever you like for details. Oh, the one other thing I do want to do though is I do want to fill in my letters. So I'm going to fill those in with a pink here. So any of my letters that actually have a hole in them, I'm going to fill those in. Okay, so that's pretty cute up there. I mean, I think it needs a little bit more. There's a couple other little spots, but overall, it's looking pretty full. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for a second, and then I'm gonna come down here and I'm going to fill in my letters. And the question is, do I want to fill in my letters with black or do I want to fill them in with a color? Maybe I'm gonna lean toward a color this time. Let's see what happens if I do it. And I could fill every letter in with a different color if I wanted, but do I want to do that? Maybe I'll stick to each part of the saying. I'll just do the slightly different color. So I'm just filling in that little gap that I did to the left of each letter. So that says I'm sorry. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to grab a purple. Okay, I'm liking that so far, but I'm noticing that this seems really plain. So let me look at that. Do I want to do something outside of it or I'm going to stick to the inside. So I'm going to grab my brush. I'm going to dip into the paint that I dipped in at the very beginning, my very first color that I chose. And I'm going to drop it into the spaces around the letters. And I'm going to just use that paint until it's totally, I'm using the brush until it's totally out of color. So I'm moving quickly and I'm going around my letters and I'm using it until it's out of color, which it is out of color. Then I'm going to dip into a separate color and I'm going to just drop in some wet paint on top of that stuff. And I'm going to continue to move my brush and fill in with that color, and then I'm going to drop in a different color. And I think I'll drop in a darker purple. Yeah. It will all lighten up as it dries. And then I'll use that color a little bit. So I'm just kind of going around my words with different purples, and I'm going to use some pinks as well. Okay, I am liking that. The only other thing that I want to do is I'm going to go get my puncher. So I have a hole punch and I have a little bit of a star punch, as you can see here. So I'm going to pop out 3 stars. I always like to have my art have a little bit of collage in it. So I'm thinking maybe I put in a cute little star. Can you see that cute little star there? If I focus in on it a little bit. Cute little star there. Another cute little star. Maybe here, but maybe in a different direction, a different acclamation. Like that. And then I need a third one. And maybe it's gonna go here-ish.
I just used a basic glue stick to make my stars stick on my paper.
And the only other thing that I want to do is up top, I want to go over the left edge of my letters. I'm using a Posca marker with a slightly thicker tip.
I really like the way this project turned out. I think it would actually make a super cute sticker. I hope you enjoyed this activity too, and I hope to see you another time.